Psalm 118:24, King James Version. This is the day which the Lord hath made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. New International Version. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it.
Wake up! Wake up, everybody! Wake up! Wake up, everybody! Wake up!
Message deleted.
Yes, wake up. I'm telling that message is for me today. Wake up. Uncle Henry Show here on News Radio 710 WNTM 99.5 FM The Jag. Good morning to you. Nothing wrong with today. A perfectly good day here in Lower Alabama. So many things to get to on the program. Things that have happened, things that will happen. Also a discussion of the present. Where are we now? The story, of course, that leaps out to me today, that I'm sure will be discussed in a variety of settings today with a lot of people, is the interview that the president gave to the New York Times, and he said some stuff about Jeff Sessions. He sounds still very angry with Alabama's Jeff Sessions. Mobile, Alabama's Jeff Sessions. The president sounds it sounds like fresh anger and fresh irritation with Jeff Sessions. And I'll share with you we're going to get traffic and weather, and then I'll share with you what the president said. He gave an interview to the New York Times, and when I heard it, I thought, this is what I thought. That's what I thought. That was my reaction, was You can interpret that at whatever way you wish, but that was I couldn't even put into words my reaction when I heard what the president was saying to the New York Times. So we'll get into that in just a moment after the traffic and weather. But when I heard it, I thought, well, I wonder how long Jeff Sessions is going to be Attorney General. Will he be Attorney General for a few more months? Will he definitely be gone before the end of the Donald Trump presidency? It sounds like he won't be there the whole time. That's what it sounded like. Look, I'll let you hear it. If you haven't already heard it, I'll play it for you here right after the traffic and weather together. Maybe you'll have a reaction similar to my That is next.
Time Saver Traffic from the Dean McCrary Porsche Traffic Center.
There is a heavy thunderstorm cell that's kind of skirting the southern part of Baldwin County, Gulf Shores, Fort Morgan. That area seeing quite a bit of rain as we speak, but it does look like it's pretty rapidly moving down over the Gulf. So hopefully this won't be a problem for long. No big accidents on the board presently. And the sidewalk improvement project on McGregor Avenue between Daphne and Old Shell continues. The project has been suspended, or rather delayed by rain a couple of times, now expected to end in September. I'm Ray Romero.
Gulf Coast weather from Local 15 and the Kemco Metal Buildings Weather Center.
Good Thursday morning, everyone. Prepare for some high heat the next couple of days. Partly cloudy this afternoon and a high of 95. The heat index, though, will be up around 105. It'll be a quiet night in the mid-70s. We're in the lower 90s on Friday with a 30% chance of showers and storms. From Local 15 News, I'm meteorologist Jake Dunn for this iHeart radio station.
Classics. More classics. And nothing but classics. The home of classic rock on the Gulf Coast. 96.1 The Rocket. Your home for Rush every weekday at 11. This is the Uncle Henry Show on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show. Thank you so much for listening. So the President of the United States, Donald Trump, sounds freshly angry at Mobile, Alabama's Jeff Sessions. He gave an interview to the New York Times. Let me play for you. This is about a minute of the president expressing frustration with Jeff Sessions. Let's together listen to the president.
Sessions gets the job. Right after he gets the job, he recuses himself.
Was that a mistake?
Well, Sessions should have never recused himself. And if he was going to recuse himself, he should have told me before he took the job, and I would have picked somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
He gave you no heads up at all in any sense?
Zero.
Okay.
So Jeff Sessions takes the job, gets into the job, recuses himself. I then have, which frankly, I think is very unfair to the president. How do you take a job and then recuse yourself? If he would have recused himself before the job, I would have said, thanks, Jeff, but I can't, I'm not going to take you. It's extremely unfair, and that's a mild word, to the president. So he recuses himself.
All right, my reaction, when I heard that, my reaction was, At first, I couldn't put it into words. It just doesn't sound good. It does not sound positive for the Attorney General, Jeff Sessions of Mobile, Alabama. So how long? I mean, the recusal was some time ago, so he's still simmering in anger. And I'm guessing that's because the investigation continues, that whole Russia thing. I think next week he's going to have his son-in-law in front of the Senate Intelligence Committee or something like that, and maybe his son. So, I mean, I guess that's one of the factors that's leading to the fresh anger over Jeff Sessions recusing himself. But you just heard that. How long do you think Jeff Sessions is going to be Attorney General? Because it doesn't sound, it sounds like that already the stage is set for there to be a new Attorney General. So does Jeff Sessions stay on for a few more weeks, few more months? Is he on for maybe a year and a half? It's hard to imagine Jeff Sessions remaining Attorney General the entire term of Donald Trump, term one, after hearing that outburst. Also, on a related note, what is he sitting down with the New York Times and giving them an interview for? If I remember correctly, the president has tweeted insults at the New York Times. He calls them the failing New York Times. I'm sure he's included them in the fake news description. And he's given them, with this interview, they're getting tremendous attention today with other news organizations all over the world having to go to their website to find this interview. So I don't quite understand why he gave this interview to an organization that he has expressed tremendous disdain for. So I'm very confused about all of this. As the morning goes on, I'm sure I'll find more words to react to the audio clip. My reaction still is but I'll work on trying to put that into words. The Uncle Henry Show continues.
Today at 2, Sean Hannity.
How much is a condom?
Can we talk about health care?
Options.
There we go.
This size.
Oh, boy.
This flavor.
News Radio 710, WNTM.
Here with Ron of Mobile Bay Coins. Ron, I asked Angelo why people collect coins, and he came up with some weird theory about how people are hunter-gatherers. Now, what's your take on that?
I believe Angelo...
And good morning, Facebook, to the early morning Facebook viewer. Let me say good morning to Kurt Kramer, Brent Amaker, David O'Neill, Charlie Black, Nita Jeffers, Tuskers, Steve Clevenger, the very kind Steve Clevenger. Good morning to all of you and anybody else that I can't see that's somehow watching. Even if you're watching out of spite, irritated with me or the show and watching anyway, maybe you're watching to feel superior to me. Whatever, even if that, I don't mind if you're watching because you feel superior to me or feel some strong dislike, because we still get credit for it digitally. It's seen as approval, even if you don't like the show. So thank you for watching, even if you're watching because you do not like the program. We're going to be back on the actual radio show in just a few minutes. Thank you, Nita Jeffers, for congratulating me on the Nappy. Once again got the talk show host Nappy Award. So thank you for that. That was very. It's nice to win things. In fact, the president likes winners. It's good to be a winner. We've learned this from President Trump. It's good to be a winner, bad to be a loser. Good to be a winner, bad to be a loser. This is something we've learned. You can't always be the winner. And you can learn from losing. It all works together. But it's good temporarily to be a winner. So thank you for congratulating me on that. The end result of winning the Nappy is having to go to the Sanger Theater in downtown Mobile at night to claim the award. So I will be going into downtown Mobile once again at night, Friday night, to claim the award. And that will provide me with wonderful life experience that I can share with you on the show about what I encounter in the streets of the city of Mobile after sundown. So that's to look forward to Monday morning. Oh, by the way, Nita Jeffers and Steve Clevenger, I'm not going to be here tomorrow. I'll be taking off a mental health day. Lately, I've wanted to I've had the urge to tear things up just to get some frustration out of me, and that's not productive in the workplace. So I'm going to take tomorrow off, and I think there's stuff in my yard that I can tear up, different like weeds and things. I can chop them. So I'm going to do stuff like that tomorrow. All right, stand by. We're about to go back to the show after traffic and weather.
From around the area and people sampling their food, right?
Yes.
To participate or drop off the bras, where do they go?
We have a Facebook page, Bras Across the Causeway.
Unlimited streaming of all your favorite music right at your fingertips in the iHeartRadio app. All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free. Open the iHeartRadio app and listen today.
710 Time Saver Traffic from the Main Street Flooring and Design Traffic Center.
There is a heavy thunderstorm cell that's kind of skirting the southern part of Baldwin County, Gulf Shores, Fort Morgan. That area seeing quite a bit of rain as we speak, but it does look like it's pretty rapidly moving down over the Gulf. So hopefully this won't be a problem for long. No big accidents on the board presently. And the sidewalk improvement project on McGregor Avenue between Daphne and Old Shell continues. The project has been suspended, or rather delayed by rain a couple of times, now expected to end in September. I'm Ray Romero.
Now, Gulf Coast weather from Local 15.
Happy Thursday, everyone. I'm meteorologist Jake Dunn from Local 15 News. Get ready for some heat and humidity today. Partly cloudy and 95, but the humidity will have us feeling like 105. There is a slight chance of a cooling thunderstorm. We're in the low 90s on Friday with a 30% chance of storms, and it could be a wet weekend. From Local 15, I'm meteorologist Jake Dunn from this iHeart radio station.
We love Nick Saban. Just wanted to get that out of the way. This is the Uncle Henry Show on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show. Thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show. We have news headlines coming up from Fox and from Local 15 in about 10 minutes. One of the local stories that is percolating, I'm the only one that would use the word percolate. So does anything percolate anymore? Now, back in the day, coffee did, but it doesn't percolate anymore. Does anything percolate now? But so let me think of a different way of putting this. One of the stories that the reporters in town are looking at and trying to advance is the story about the Bay Bears, the baseball team. There are reports that the Bay Bears might be in the process of being sold to an investment group that would then move the team out of town. Now, the GM of the Bay Bears, Chris Morgan, has denied the reports. And the mayor's office, Standy Simpson, the mayor of Mobile, his office released this statement. Quote, "We have worked hard for the past 3 years to make needed repairs and improvements to Hank Aaron Stadium. As the home of the most Hall of Famers per capita, baseball plays an important role in Mobile's past, present, and future. We are in contact with the Mobile Bay Bears ownership, and our goal is to keep the team in Mobile. We won't speculate on private business negotiations. We remain committed to building upon Mobile's baseball tradition as part of our family-friendly community." So no, really not sure where this is going to go. There's been a struggle through the years to get attendance to increase for the Bay Bears. The problem hasn't been the actual baseball itself. There have been many years that the Bay Bears have been playing really good baseball, have won their league championships or been in contention for their league championships, so you were getting quality baseball. But the prospect in modern times, in current modern times, the prospect of having people go sit outdoors in August and watch baseball, people are less likely to want to do that when we have inventions like air conditioning, Netflix, things like that. It's just it's a different era. So I don't know. I have no idea where this will go. If the Bay Bears leave, then what do you've invested a lot of money into a stadium. What do you do with it? By the way, if I had the answer to that, I would have a better job. I wouldn't be here with you. I'd have a better job, and I would be highly regarded because I would have answers, but I don't have answers. So that's one of the things that's being looked at today. And I'm sure a lot of people will have different opinions on this, thinking that we've already invested too much as it is, and other people thinking that since we have invested, we need to figure out a way to make it work. So that will be ongoing. Also, let's see. Let me go into some entertainment news, but we're about to go into the news break here in just a couple of minutes. Ariel, please join me here. Ariel, she was one of the ladies that launched a new podcast yesterday, the Broadcast Podcast. Have you already gotten any reaction to the podcast?
I think a lot of people like it so far. I've seen a couple comments. They weren't directed towards me. They were more directed towards the other ladies, but they seem to think it's funny and it's fun. So
this is a podcast with Ariel, Mary Booth of Mix 99.9, Shelby Mitchell of 95 KSJ, and Jonna of Kiss 107.3.
Yeah. 4
ladies from our different radio stations here at iHeartMedia. Let me just pull a random excerpt from I went into the podcast and just grabbed something randomly.
Money.
Yeah.
Why make them battle it out in court or not have their wedding because you're declaring bankruptcy? I mean, if you're going to go broke anyway, well, go a little broke or give them the dresses.
I was just about to say that. Why didn't they just give them? Because I remember my own stressful situation with my dress.
Right.
Unfortunately, nobody went MIA with my dress. I got pregnant. I kid you not.
Whoa! Okay. All right, just randomly.
Story.
All right, look. That's the kind of stuff that's in there. What on earth? So if you want to find out the rest of that story, just go to, and it's on all of our, I think it's on the News Radio 710 Facebook page, Beat of Mobile.
Yeah.
All of the different Facebook pages representing our radio stations. You can find the podcast. It's about 45 minutes long.
It was fun, too.
Okay, so that let me also bring up another so that's some form of entertainment, the podcast.
It is.
HBO is getting the creators of Game of Thrones to create a new show.
Okay, and what is it?
It's going to be, the premise is, what if the South won the Civil War?
Oh, oh, no. That doesn't sound like a good show.
You and I agree on this.
I can only see bad things happening.
You know, the South already has had some we've had our share of bad publicity and bad karma.
Yeah.
From all this stuff from that was done by people that were here way before we were born. And it just seems like dredging this up and then creating a modern day Confederacy will only cause people to be maybe mad at things that aren't even happening.
Or just, kind of making more protests happen that don't need to happen.
Well, it's a gigantic stirring of a pot that's already stirred.
You said that.
All right, thank you, Ariel. So that look for that on HBO. News is next.
Your morning cup of Sean. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
All right, new Bloomberg poll shows, guess what? Hillary Clinton is more unfavorable than Donald Trump. Daily Caller reports, so while 41% of respondents in the poll said they had a more favorable than unfavorable view of President Trump, well, Clinton's favorability was even lower. A full 58% of respondents found that Clinton to be more unfavorable than favorable. Meanwhile, Trump's favorability has jumped considerably since June of 2016. And to top it off, as usual, the Bloomberg poll surveyed more Democrats than Republicans and surveyed more people who voted for Clinton than Trump. Maybe it's time for the Democrats, Hillary, to realize, no, it's not Comey, it's not Vladimir, it's not misogyny that lost her the election. She was a horrible candidate with bad ideas and nobody liked her.
Conservative Underground meets later today on the Sean Hannity Show.
Finding great candidates to hire can be, well, like trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter is different. It doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them. With its powerful technology, ZipRecruiter distributes your job everywhere it needs to be to find the right candidates. In fact, over 80% of jobs on ZipRecruiter get a qualified candidate in just one day. So, while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, only ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
Used by businesses of all sizes, ZipRecruiter offers the most qualified job candidates with immediate results. And right now you can try ZipRecruiter free. That's right, free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free for your free trial. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
710 Time Saver Traffic from the Dean McCrary Mazda Traffic Center.
Well, we just aren't seeing much out there at the present time. If you are traveling on I-10, crossing the Bayway to and through the Wallace Tunnel, Causeway, and the Bankhead, and I-65 from Pritchard and Chickasaw down to the I-10, you're moving along pretty well. The southern part of Baldwin County, Gulf Shores, Fort Morgan, that area has been seeing quite a bit of early morning rain today, but that particular thunderstorm cell is moving out of the area down south over the Gulf. I'm Ray Romero.
Gulf Coast weather from Local 15 and the Kemco Metal Buildings Weather Center.
Good Thursday morning. I'm meteorologist Jake Dunn from Local 15 News. The heat will be on today.
By the way, I'm interrupting I want to hear Darwin's news, but doesn't the weatherman sound like he's doing the weather from like the International Space Station or something?
Slim, I mean 20%. From Local 15, I'm meteorologist Jake Dunn for this iHeart radio station.
This report is brought to you.
All right, I don't know, either in a barrel. The acoustics are very strange on our weatherman today. I don't know what's going on. Well, look, I'm going to step aside here for just a moment because I want to hear Darwin. I don't know what his news is yet, so I'll be back after Darwin.
He's scalded and hospitalized. I'm Local 15's Darwin Singleton with this iHeartRadio news update. A 1-year-old infant from Pritchard is in the UAB Medical Center in Birmingham this morning after being scalded by hot water. The little boy was first flown to USA Medical Center in Mobile, suffering from burns over 50% of his body. That scalding happened in a house in Pritchard, but that's all that's being released at this time. Pritchard police are investigating. The people of Alberta and Baldwin County have come together, offering prayers and support for the town's police chief. This morning, Stan Devane is fighting for his life in a Denver hospital. The police chief listed in critical condition after being thrown from a horse. That accident happened in Colorado, where Devane was vacationing. Wednesday's vigil held at Alberta Town Park. Haven't started your back-to-school shopping? Well, this weekend you can do it tax-free in Alabama. And if it seems a little bit early, it's because it is. The state voted to officially change the date back in March, moving tax-free weekend from the first weekend in August to the third weekend in July. In general, clothing items $100 or less qualify, as well as school supplies costing $50 or less. Even computers and computer-related items costing $750 or less will not be taxed. The weekend lasts all day Friday through all day Sunday. News breaks while you sleep, so when you wake, we'll catch you up on what's happening along the Gulf Coast and around the world every weekday morning on Local 15 Today. We start at 5 a.m. I'm Local 15's Darwin Singleton for this iHeart radio station.
Fox News Radio, I'm Rich Dennison. Arizona Senator John McCain's been diagnosed with an aggressive form of brain cancer. South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham spoke with the 80-year-old Republican shortly after he learned the news.
It's going to be a tough way forward, but he says, I've been through worse.
McCain and his family are exploring treatment.
All right, here we are on Facebook. Good morning. I heard the report from Darwin on the sales tax holiday for back to school. There have been a lot of economists that have said that sales tax holidays are really a gimmick, but I don't care. I like it. Even if it's a gimmick, I like it. And I've got a list here of the things that you can purchase, and the sales tax is taken away, so you don't have to pay the sales tax. I'm going to get into this on the radio, I'm sure several times this morning for the people that have not yet awakened, but I see that one of the things that you can get tax-free are pajamas. Now, how is that on? Who do you need pajamas at school? There's a lot about this. I don't know if you can buy pajamas for exempt from taxes. I don't. Okay, well, we'll get into that later when we're on the radio together. And we are going to be on the radio here in about 90 seconds with more Uncle Henry Show. I look at the things that do not fit. Hard hats and helmets, you still have to pay taxes. On hard hats and helmets, you still have to pay taxes. On wetsuits, rollerblades, and ice skates, you still have to pay taxes on those things. I guess there was a question sometime before. All right, we're going to be back on the radio here in about a minute. Actually, less than a minute. Stand by.
Buy and shop around what people are selling that item for, whether it's gold, silver, estate jewelry items. Make sure you're not paying too much for an item. The thing that sickens me the most is when an estate comes in and we find out that somebody paid sometimes 100 times too much what they could have got the same item for, or they were sold items with great packaging and great boxes, but the items contained therein were worth almost nothing. So shop it around, be smart about it, and come by Mobile Bay Coins. We can make recommendations based on the items you have, your avenues available to you.
So if I understand you correctly, the best piece of advice is shop it around.
Shop it around.
Shop it around. Mobile Bay Coins, 2204 Government Street in Midtown Mobile. Look for them on Facebook. You'll also find them online at mobilebaycoins.com.
This morning at 9, Ask the Expert. Then Rush at 11. Right now, it's Uncle Henry on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show, thank you so much for listening to the Uncle Henry Show on this spectacular, I think it's Thursday. Coming up in about 15 minutes, we're going to have NBC News Radio correspondent Jason Cappadonia give us a preview of the O.J. Simpson parole hearing. O.J. will be in front of Nevada's Board of Parole around noon today. And there, now in Alabama, you hear about parole hearings. I don't think you ever watch them on TV. I think people are going to be able to watch this on TV. What an odd thing to watch, are parole hearings. So that will be today, coming up. We'll hear in about 15 minutes, get a little preview of that from Jason Cappadonia. Let's talk to Freddie. Freddie, good morning.
Good morning to you, Uncle Henry. I'm so depressed for two reasons. I got sympathy for John McCain and his family for what his ordeal, but I feel so bad about my ex-senator, Mr. Sessions. This gentleman has made this man be like a smirk to him. He wants to be above the law. Everybody he brings in, he wants to trample over them. How would you feel, this right moment, how would you feel like if you were Judge Sessions? What would your attitude be?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. Knowing Jeff Sessions, I know that there's so many things he wants to do, and he's probably willing to stay on in that job, even though the president is very unhappy with him. I'm not sure. Hello? Hello? All right, well, I don't know if Freddie hung up on me or if his phone had a problem. No, it's the Donald Trump sounds very upset with Jeff Sessions based on the interview that he did with the New York Times. I guess if I were Jeff Sessions, I'd be frustrated by the whole situation because Sessions has explained that he felt he had no choice but to recuse himself. That's his opinion. Other people have disagreed with him. Not just the president, but other people have disagreed with him. But in his interpretation of the law and the way things should work, Jeff Sessions felt like he had no other avenue but to recuse himself. So I'm sure he's frustrated, and at the same time, now that he's Attorney General, he doesn't want to he wouldn't want to step aside because he has an opportunity to make an impact. Very difficult situation to be in, I'm sure. But you asked me how I would feel if I were him. If I were him, I would want to have retired by now. He and I are made of different material. I would want to be walking along the beach somewhere.
Saver traffic from the Main Street Flooring and Design Traffic Center.
Well, we just aren't seeing much out there at the present time. If you are traveling on I-10, crossing the Bayway to and through the Wallace Tunnel, Causeway, and the Bankhead, and I-65 from Pritchard and Chickasaw down to the I-10, you're moving along pretty well. The southern part of Baldwin County, Gulf Shores, Fort Morgan, that area has been seeing quite a bit of early morning rain today, but that particular thunderstorm cell is moving out of the area down south over the Gulf. I'm Ray Romero.
This report is brought to you by the T.J. Martell Foundation. Join the T.J. Martell Foundation in the fight against leukemia, cancer, and AIDS. Your support helps facilitate cutting-edge research that will lead to more effective treatments and save more lives. Visit tjmartell.org to learn more.
Now, Gulf Coast weather from Local 15.
Good Thursday morning, everyone. Prepare for some high heat the next couple of days. Partly cloudy this afternoon and a high of 95. The heat index, though, will be up around 105. It'll be a quiet night in the mid-70s. We're in the lower 90s on Friday with a 30% chance of showers and storms. From Local 15 News, I'm meteorologist Jake Dunn for this iHeart radio station.
Never miss a riff. TK101, the rock station.
Roll Tide. This is the Uncle Henry Show on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show here on News Radio 710 WNTM 99.5 FM, The Jag. Coming up in about 10 minutes, NBC News Radio correspondent Jason Campidonia will give us a preview of the O.J. Simpson parole hearing today. Let me talk to Bert. Bert, good morning.
Good morning, Uncle Henry.
Yes.
If I would really hate to see Jeff Sessions have to leave his job.
Right.
And if he was going to leave it, I wished he'd have either left or been fired or whatever about a month ago, so he would still have time to get in the race to get his old Senate seat back. I would really hate to see Alabama be stuck with Big Luther the Swamp Thing for the next 20 years. I would like to see every legacy of Bentley gone, every appointee replaced, and that includes Big Luther. The fact that the Mitch McConnell establishment has glommed onto this guy and said he's got to win or else tells me everything I need to know about him. He has no principles.
Well, now, wait a Bert, now, Governor Dr. Bentley just this week told us that he's the best governor Alabama's ever had by far.
I about fell off my chair when I heard that.
And that would mean that Luther Strange, because Governor Dr. Bentley picked Luther Strange, that means that Luther Strange could be the best senator we've ever had by far.
Obviously. You know, I'm trying to think of who the worst governors we've ever had since I've been old enough to vote have been. And Siegelman ranks right up there. I mean, I set a lot of store by that guy, you know, when he was running on the legalized gambling issue. And then he turned right around. You know, Uncle Henry, I sort of knew that he was a crook from the get-go before the Help South thing even came out because of these no-bid contracts. I've always believed that no bid means secret bid, means whoever comes up with the biggest kickback gets the contract. And so Siegelman just proved himself to me that he was not worthy of my support from the get-go. I never voted for him again. But I never thought I would see a worse governor than Siegelman. But Bentley ranks right up there. I would have to say, until we get a worse one, which I hope we don't, that Bentley was the worst governor we have had since I've been old enough to vote. And I would like to see every last one of his appointees gone. And, I mean, maybe Strange will cast the right votes. Maybe he'll prove me wrong about him. I don't know. But I would hate to see us be stuck with him for as long as we had Sessions. I would love to see Sessions have gotten his old job back if he has to go.
Bert, I'm sure a lot of people share your beliefs.
Well, thanks for taking my call today.
Thank you, Bert. Thank you for listening so early in the morning and contributing to the show. I also want to thank David in Spanish Fort has sent me an email about the proper way to pronounce the state of Nevada or Nevada. But the way that you wrote your email, David, I'm not sure which one is correct. So if you could call in and actually say it to me, that would help rather than the email, because I want to make sure I pronounce it properly. So if you
Nevada.
So is it? Well, I just don't know. I'm trying to find a pronunciation guide online to make sure that I say it properly. Is this proper? So is it? Wait, I'm playing my own show. Let me see. Is this it?
Nevada.
Nevada? Is that right?
Nevada.
What? Nevada? Is that right?
Nevada.
All right, look. David, I'll need your help.
The Glenn Beck program introduces a new eve. The eve of global war. Celebrate with your family and friends. Today at 5, News Radio 710, WNTM.
For the best home theater design, equipment, and installation, call TSI Alarms and Audio. Call 251-662-0500 or visit them online at thetsigroup.com. That's TSI Alarms and Audio. Hey, this is Uncle Henry. I want to tell you about a dentist I found in Mobile named H. Radcliffe Brown Jr. When I moved back to town, I asked people if they could recommend a dentist, and they recommended Radcliffe Brown. I had a cracked tooth. I needed a crown on it. I went to see Dr. Brown.
And good morning, Facebook. We're waiting for a call from Jason Campidonia of NBC News Radio, who will give us a preview of the O.J. Simpson parole hearing. I wonder if I ask him how to pronounce Nevada, will he? I wonder if that'll make me look like a foolish person if I ask him that.
Nevada.
Is it Nevada?
Nevada.
Or is it this?
Nevada.
Or Nevada? I'm really worried. I don't want to have the wrong pronunciation. I've never cared about pronunciations before, but I'm in a mood today that I want the sailing to be as smooth as possible. All right, so here we are waiting for Jason's call from wherever Jason Campidonia. I probably am mispronouncing Jason's last name. It's Campidonia or something like, who knows? So I'm this next interview fraught with peril, with multiple mispronunciations. I may accidentally say O.J. Stimson or J.O. Stimson or who knows? I'm getting very nervous about this. What else is going on that we can talk about? I see him calling in. So look, we're going to be going to that interview here in just a moment on the Uncle Henry Show. Stick with us, please.
95% high efficiency unit. And so I had a cozy, warm home last winter with lower heating bills. And I'm looking forward to a cool home this summer with that new system. Carrier, high efficiency natural gas, and Heads Heating and Air Conditioning make a great team. Did you know they've got financing available at 0% interest for up to 60 months? You can't beat 0% on a new system. What a great combo. Carrier, natural gas, Heads Heating and Air Conditioning, and financing at 0% interest for up to 60 months. So turn to the experts, Carrier, and call Heads Heating and Air Conditioning. The number is 251-653-7873. 251-653-7873. See if you qualify for that great deal on 0% interest.
It's Heating and Air Conditioning, where 3 heads are better than 1.
Hey, girl. I'm the sports station down the dial. I know you're with this station right now, and I respect that. But you know where to find me.
No idea.
Oh, you don't? Well, okay. I'll just tell you. I'm in 99.5 on the FM dial. My name's the Jag.
Great.
710 Time Saver Traffic from the Dean McCrary Volvo Traffic Center.
We have picked up an accident spot involving road blockage in the Pensacola area. This is on West Detroit and Dudley Avenue. Other than that, kind of a quiet morning. Those of you in Gulf Shores and Fort Morgan got a pretty good soaking not that long ago as a cell of really heavy rain moved through that area. It has pushed out over the Gulf now, so rain does seem to be subsiding and no big Bayway problem so far. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Ray Romero.
This report is brought to you by Compassion International. The future is bleak for a child living in poverty. No school, no dreams, no hope. But you can change all that when you become a Compassion Child sponsor. Just a little more than $1 a day brings hope. Find out how at compassion.com/radio.
Gulf Coast weather from Local 15 and the Kemco Metal Buildings Weather Center.
Happy Thursday, everyone. I'm meteorologist Jake Dunn from Local 15 News. Get ready for some heat and humidity today. Partly cloudy and 95, but the humidity will have us feeling like 105. There is a slight chance of a cooling thunderstorm. We're in the low 90s on Friday with a 30% chance of storms, and it could be a wet weekend. From Local 15, I'm meteorologist Jake Dunn from this iHeart radio station.
Your home for traffic and weather on the 9s every morning. This is News Radio 710 WNTM.
Thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show here on News Radio 710 WNTM 99.5 FM The Jag. You can also watch on the News Radio 710 WNTM Facebook page. Coming up in about 10 minutes, news headlines from Fox, news headlines from Local 15. Right now, we have NBC News Radio national correspondent Jason, is it pronounced Campadonia, Jason?
Very good. Campadonia, yes.
Fantastic. So a preview of this O.J. Simpson parole meeting. Now, in our state, these parole hearings are almost mysterious, where you don't hear much about them. And there with O.J., is this going to be on TV?
Yes, it is. And all of the major networks are going to carry it. I believe the first one to say, hey, we got permission to broadcast this was actually ESPN, who's, recently gotten some fame for the documentary O.J. in America. And so they were the first, and then everybody else jumped on board.
Wow. That is this. I don't know that I've ever heard of a parole hearing being nationally broadcast on numerous networks. So what are the experts saying? Is he going to get paroled?
The legal analysts that I've talked to over the past couple of days say you're going to be hard-pressed to keep him behind bars. He's got a couple of things working in his favor. Number one, his age. He's 70 years old. Number two, he's been a model citizen or a model inmate behind bars. He hasn't really done anything, and he's already been deemed a low risk to society. And three, one of the victims from the 2008 conviction, one of the memorabilia collectors who was taken advantage of, is going to testify on O.J.'s behalf today. He's saying, O.J.'s my buddy. He was my buddy before the 2008 conviction. He's my buddy now. He served 9 years, or nearly 9 years, and that's long enough. He needs to be let out.
Now, Jason, I don't know if you can answer this or not, but if this were not O.J., if it were somebody that we had not heard of before, would it be a slam dunk that he would get paroled if there weren't all of the associated fame? If this were just an average person who had been convicted of these crimes, would they just almost automatically get paroled?
That's an excellent question. So the Parole Commission has been instructed to get rid of all of the 1995 double murder of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman. Get that out of their head. Get the fact that he's a celebrity. Get the fact that he is beloved in some communities. Get all of that out of your head and just look at the facts of the case. Has he served his time, and should he be allowed to rejoin society with some parameters put on it?
All right, so Jason, this is going to be, I guess, 1 o'clock Eastern that this starts. How long do you think this is going to take?
Okay, so the court system is traditionally late, unless it's a big case. They try to stay on track as much as possible. Now, O.J. is expected to speak for about 30 to 40 minutes, and then plus if they allow his buddy to testify, that may be a couple more minutes, and then the deliberations take place. So, and that could last, we don't know. That could be a couple of days. That could be a couple of minutes. They could do an open vote. There's a couple of ways that this could go down. Now, what's interesting is about the deliberation process. He's going to be in front of a 4-person panel. And if that 4-person panel isn't unanimous on saying, yes, you are granted parole, they bring in 2 more commissioners. Those commissioners then get together. They huddle up. They come to a decision. If they are split, 3 yes, 3 no, he's denied parole, and he can go back in front of the board in 6 months. If they vote no parole, he can't go in front of the parole board until 2020.
Wow. Okay. So there's really no way to predict when we'll even find out the results.
It's expected today, but again, it's one of those things where the deliberations, it could take an hour, it could take 6 hours. They could break for lunch and then come back and do another 4 hours. It's one of those up-in-the-air things, but it is expected today. We just can't say with any certainty.
All right. Well, Jason, thank you so much for your time.
Have a great one.
There he goes, Jason Campadonia, NBC News Radio national correspondent. So, I know that I saw the documentary that ESPN did. I didn't watch the dramatization that won all of the awards. We did have last year, I guess it was last year, there were the two major O.J. Simpson TV products. One of them was a fictionalized account that had John Travolta, and it won all kind of awards. I didn't see that, but I did watch the documentary that ESPN did, which was fantastic. I mean, it was really all of the stuff setting the stage, talking about O.J. Simpson's life and also the relationships in that community before O.J. became a star. That was all fascinating. But are people fascinated enough to want to watch this? I don't think so. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you want to spend hours watching a parole hearing. But no, I could maybe watch 5 minutes, 10 minutes of O.J. himself speaking on his behalf, but that's about it. The idea that this could go on for hours, I wonder how the networks are going to treat this. Will they? We know that ESPN is going to carry it. Are other networks going to break in and carry some of this live? And who would want to watch it? All right, we're almost up on our news break. We have news from Fox, news from Local 15, plus traffic and weather, all coming up in just a few minutes here on News Radio 710 WNTM. As we continue this morning, you can watch the show on the News Radio 710 WNTM Facebook page. We have video streaming there, or you can stream it live on YouTube. If you have that set up for your smart TV, you can watch on YouTube. And by the way, thank you for voting for me in the Nappy Awards. Once again, a big thank you for voting me your favorite talk show host. I appreciate that very, very much in the Nappy Awards.